both sides of it in terms of going against submission guys and strikers.
Yeah, and you know, records in this sport don't indicate great fighters most of the time. I mean, Randy Couture, quite arguably one of the greatest ever to walk the planet, you know, his record's like 15-8. You know, so that tells you this sport is a lot of ways to win and lose, so that's the way it goes.
And here's Chris Bowles out of Dallas. We have seen his last two fights. He comes in with that 8-2 record. Interesting to hear him talk about knockout. All of his wins by way of submission. He is coming off a win on HDNet Fights 1 and then lost his last time out, snapping a 4-fight win streak. Corey Mahan, you might remember, submitted him. That was at HDNet Fights Reckless Abandon back in December in Dallas. So his first fight of 2008 for the veteran fighter that is Chris Bowles. Let's go now to Pat Harker for the official introductions.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live on HDNet Fights. This is going to be 3 rounds of mixed martial arts, 5 minutes each. Our 3 judges ringside, Mr. Todd Brown, the lovely Miss Pat Egan, and Mr. David Sutherland. Our referee, the man in charge when the bell sounds, Mr. Kevin Nix. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This young man comes to us from San Antonio, Texas. He weighed in at 154 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, Adrian, the Assassin Sanchez. His opponent this evening, fighting across the cage out of the red corner. This young man from Dallas, Texas. He weighed in at 155 pounds. A member of the Lion's Den, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Bowles.
Fighter, stand in the ring. Can we get you here, sir? All right, guys, we already went over the rules. There are elbows allowed in this fight, all right? Touch gloves, be warriors. Let's go.
And this is our first 5-minute round fight that we've seen. 3 5-minute rounds is what it's scheduled for. And as you heard from Kevin Nix, the referee, elbows allowed in this fight. And there's a good chance we could see it from these two guys.
Yeah, it was nice of the referee to remind them.
Here we go, round 1. Bowles, enough of the stand-up. This is where he wants this fight to be.
You know, and you find it interesting, a lot of times when fighters say, I love to knock people out and this and that, a lot of times that's deception. And you see that, how fast he went for the takedown here.
Yeah, I think money would have changed hands if Chris Bowles had stood up for another 10 or 15 seconds. This obviously is his strength. That's where he likes to be on the ground, win or lose. And, of course, he has won most of his fights. An 8-2 record coming in for the 37-year-old out of Dallas.
Moving pretty good for a 37-year-old, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, moving exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Bowles is one tough fighter who does make judicious use. He doesn't, he does other things. He doesn't just fight all the time. He's been on one of his more active streaks, actually, in the last 7 or 8 months.
Picking it up before the sun sets on the career.
The one thing we haven't seen a lot is like a ground pound game in previous fights have been on here on HDNet Fights from Chris Bowles. Some punching, but not a lot.
Just likes to work for that submission.
And you see he'll throw a lot of punches to try to open something up, as he is here, particularly working into the sides with Sanchez.
A smart fighter, good. He's solidifying his position and laying down a little punishment and making Sanchez look for the gate a little bit. Hopefully, is his game plan. It looks like working to the mount, pushing on the knee.
Sanchez closing up, not letting him get into the full mount position.
It's a good job because Bowles was almost there. So Sanchez definitely knows what he's doing on the ground.
One thing in his first 2 minutes of this fight, he has been nothing but on the defense. Bowles again, no way he's going to push that. Can he push that knee away, Pat? Sanchez looks pretty determined as well.
He's doing a great job of controlling Bowles' wrist so that he can't continue pushing on the knee. So, you know, he's being very smart about it. Trying to work for the guard, get it back. Good job. Bowles gave him a little extra space there that he shouldn't have given him while he was trying to transition to the mount. That allowed Sanchez to get that position back. Nice elbow there, first one we've seen.
And Bowles will make good use of those when he gets in close.
They're a good tool, definitely a good tool. And not fun to be on the receiving end of.
Does it hurt as much as a punch?
You know, it can definitely. But they're a cutting tool more than anything a lot of times. And that's what a lot of the fighters have learned over the years now. And we'll use them to slice people up and get a fight stopped.
And we have seen a few of those in recent weeks here on HD Net Fights as well.
And a lot of times what you'll see is a guy that's losing the fight will land an elbow and cut the other fighter and get the fight stopped. So, you know, keep that in mind for all the fighters at home. If you're losing, you can land an elbow. It's a great thing.
And again, the forearm coming down of Bowles. I think we got an eye gouge worn there, didn't we? For Chris Bowles, if he could draw out a game plan, this would just be perfect for him. He would be content to spend 4 minutes and 58 seconds per round on the ground.
Nice attempted sweep by Sanchez there, and Bowles, great balance, flipped his hips over, hip heist, and came right back in.
What do you think so far? Nice defense at times by Sanchez, but clearly Bowles, this is his home when he's got it on the ground.
Absolutely, yeah. He's doing a good job of keeping his base and landing effective strikes so the fight does not get stood up. Sanchez has a couple times started to spin his hips, swivel his hips to look for an armbar, but wasn't able to finish. I think Bowles is wise to it.
Bowles got caught in an armbar by Mahon his last fight back on December 15th. Another fight that he was dominating.
That probably taught him the lesson. Nice elbow, pushed on the head and through the elbow. I was waiting for that one.
10 seconds to go in this first round.
That cut him, that cut Bowles, there you go. Pushed up on the head and let the elbow go. Here comes another one, there it is.
Yeah, oh, two more right at the end of that first round.
Nice elbows. Bowles is either his nose is bleeding or he's cut pretty bad, one or the other.
Yeah, the blood that's on the chest of Sanchez is actually coming from the face of Chris Bowles. And he got his nose busted there as we take a look at it.
Yeah, good possibility of that.
So a little bit of a cut there on the left eye, just more like a scratch, but that nose is a lot of blood coming out of the nose right now. We take a look at our CompuStrike first round stats, and that kind of tells a lot of the story, doesn't it?
It does. Bowles stayed a lot busier, but Sanchez only had to land 2 of them, and those 2 were elbows that did damage.
As we take a look at the end of this first round, again, Bowles on top, had been in control of all this fight.
Sanchez pushing up on the head to create downforce by Bowles and then throws the elbow. Bowles' head meets the elbow with double the force. It's a nice little trick.
As you look at Adrian Sanchez. Sanchez looks none the worse for wear, does he, after that first round?
I think he's a little motivated after landing the elbows and doing damage. And if I'm Sanchez, I'm going right back after the cut.
5-minute rounds now. As we go into round 2, it's scheduled for 3. And the cut is not the busted nose. The cut is across the bridge of the nose there. Actually a little lower than the bridge of the nose, right in the middle of it. You can see it prominently for Chris Bowles. One good tag by Sanchez, and then we'll open it right up.
Nice defense on the takedown. Got to get that leg back. Don't be too hurried to strike here. He needs to get that leg loose. Good job.
But already you can see blood coming out of the nose again.
Yeah, that cut across the bridge of the nose, a lot of times, Kenny, is from the cartilage collapsing a little bit and the ridge of the bone that goes halfway down your nose. That's where the cut occurs a lot of times on those. I had one, I know.
What, you've been hitting the nose?
A few times, yeah. Nice
now,
combo.
Good combination. Best punches so far. We've seen a couple of good elbows. The best swinging of the fist by Sanchez in this fight.
Gonna have the doctor look at Bowles' nose, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you can see the blood, and it's inevitable with where that cut is, and that cut is just above the Well, just kind of above the nostrils, you can see between that and the bridge of the nose, and there it is. That's what's really just opened right up.
That's a wicked cut, but
Yeah,
it's
look
not
at
affecting his vision. So,
which I will ask you, it's over. The fight is stopped. The fight is stopped. Chris Bowles cannot go on by the cut that he received from 2 elbows in the first round that he was dominating, which will lead once again to the debate, what is the point of elbows in an MMA fight?
that's the thing. You don't see knockouts very often from him. And to be honest with you, in my mind, they don't make the fight any more exciting. You know, and a lot of times the guy that's losing the fight, like I said before it happened, ends up winning a fight because of it. So, you know, debate goes on.